Let's talk about books. It's all about books. It's all about books. Why you waiting? Just go get your tea, get your little snack. It gonna be a long one. Hey friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Y'all know, best thing about BookTube is the book hauls. We want to hear all the books you bought. Do we want to hear about the books that you read? Yeah, but probably more than the books that we bought, because we all know this TBR, it ain't going nowhere. We can wish on a star. Maybe I'll read my TBR. Probably not. But we can dream. I'm gonna haul these books. I'm gonna show you the books I got for Christmas. I have them broken out by books I got from family, my book of the month picks, and the books from Mr. Librarian. Let's get started. Books that were gifted to me from family. Love y'all. If you're watching, I love you. And if this is the book that you bought me, I'm gonna just say who bought the book. The first book is called North by Northwestern by Captain Sig Hansen. This might look familiar because this is the guy from The Deadliest Catch, I believe is the show. Mr. Librarian and I watch this show all the time. It has me on edge. And to know that Sig, who's one of the owners of one of the boats on the show, he comes from a dynasty of fishermen, and so very interesting to read his autobiography. My brother and his beautiful fiance got this book for me, so I'm looking forward to reading this. This is going to be so much fun. It's going to be good. Gotta have our nonfiction in life. Nonfiction is so important. You know, nonfiction really breaks up all the fiction, you know? The next book that I received was from my parents. They got me Amanda Gorman's poems, Call Us What We Carry. As you can see, I've already read this. This was my first read of 2022, so girl, we love us some poetry. Review later on this month. Thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for getting this for me. This is the best gift ever. I love you. Okay. So next, I want to show you the books I got for my book of the month picks. And you know, book of the month, not sponsored by the way. We have a very complicated relationship. And I'm thinking one of the videos I want to do about book of the month, and so keep an eye out on the channel about some of the book of the month choices that I've picked over the past few years. Excuse me, some of the book of the month picks I've chosen. One of the choices for December was called A History of Wild Places. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I know the synopsis for all these books. Nah, I don't. So we just gonna take a read with me as we read the inner cover. Travis Wren has an unusual talent for locating missing people. Hired by families as a last resort, he requires only a single object to find the person who has vanished. When he takes on the case of Maggie St. James, you know it's trouble when somebody got St. James in it. It's after one of the saints. It's serious. A well-known author of dark, macabre children's books, he's led to a place many believe to only be a legend. Known as Pastoral, this reclusive community was founded by like-minded people searching for a simpler way of life. But soon, after travel stumbles upon it, he disappears. Just like Maggie St. James. Ooh, where is Maggie? Where are Maggie and James? I mean, Maggie and James. What's the guy's name? Aggie and Travis. Where'd they go to? The book is called Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I mentioned the Recursion by Blake Crouch in another one of my videos, and this is actually his first book to this kind of dark genre. This actually isn't his first book. I actually have the Pines trilogy or series that he wrote years ago as well to read. So I'm definitely going to be enjoying some Blake Crouch for science fiction this year. My book bestie says she liked this one better than Recursion, and she loved Recursion, so I'm excited to read this book. And the synopsis says, "Are you happy with your life?" Ooh. Those are the last words Jason Deason hears before the mass abductor knocks him unconscious. Before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney, surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. Before a man Jason's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back, my friend." In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. Ooh. And then the next book is called Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby. This was a Book of the Month finalist, and everybody raves about this. And one of the reasons I really want to support this author, because this is an African American who's local to the area where I live, and just want to support him. I heard so many great things about this story. It's challenging, it's haunting, it's definitely on the fringe of things, but let's see what it's all about. A black father, a white father, two dead sons, a quest for revenge and redemption. Ex-cons with little in common other than a criminal past and a love for their dead sons band together in their desperate desire for revenge. Ooh, this is definitely controversial and loaded, and I'm curious to see how I feel about this and what I think. The next, I don't know, 10, 15 books, I don't know, I'm not counting, were donated to the Purple Library from Mr. Librarian for Christmas, so we thank him. We thank Mr. Librarian. We thank him. Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. Y'all shouldn't even be surprised. You should already knew when it took me, when I went live like that, you should already knew this was a big boy. You know, if I'm heaving at my shoulders, it's a heavy one. Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee is the conclusion to the Greenbone saga. And I read the other two books. I got a loan from the library to read the other two books, so support your local library. Two crime families who are vying for power and vying for the ability to use and harness the jade. People who can harness jade can put it on their bodies and they have supernatural strength. This is gonna wreck me. And the fantasy continues. So I was able to get the first two books in the Eye of the World series by Robert Jordan. The first one is called Eye of the World, and the second one is called The Great Hunt. And if you're into adult fantasy and you're at that God tier level, you know, and you've read a lot, this is a 14-book series, and Robert Jordan, the author himself, was not able to finish it. But guess who finished this series for Robert Jordan? Don't worry, I'll wait. Let me get some tea. Okay, I'll tell you.
Brando Sando, y'all.
Brando Sando finished this series for Robert Jordan. This is probably one of the best, if not well-loved, series of all time. After Lord of the Rings, after Tolkien, there is The Eye of the World. And our boy, Brando Sando, finished the series for our guy, Robert Jordan. This is worth a read. It's definitely a heavy investment. It is a 14-book series. I am here for it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to them this year. The TV show is out, and I did watch spoilers of the show, so I'm not really, you know, I don't think the show really gave too much away. I don't even know what where the show stopped in the books, so I'm not too concerned. I don't plan on watching the show or really getting into Robert Jordan this year. This is the year of Brando Sando, so we're gonna definitely, but I still wanted to get these of Robert Jordan, and really, let me put the one that's the first one up top. Is it upside down? Whew. And then another fantasy. Can we just keep going? It's so many fantasy books that are on my TBR. I can't help it, y'all. Y'all already know you came here for the fantasy commentary. Robert Hobb gonna have me knocking on her door, and we're gonna have to have a discussion and some tea, because the woman, it's a great time. So the next books are some nonfiction that I got. And the first one was Educated, was in my wrap up for 2021. And I actually had the audio from the library that I rented. Wanted to actually get my own copy. I had to have it on my shelf. And so I'm excited about this. Got the 20% off. Why is your girl always got price tags on stuff? Posterity. We need to know who getting the deal on books. Who? All right, the next one, Max Lucado, Anxious for Nothing. This is based on the scripture, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. I'm looking forward to it. Max Lucado always has the ability to weave biblical principles with real life application, and it's so refreshing and it's so refined, and I'm looking forward to really getting into this, because you know, that pepperoni pizza, you know, had us just in a place, okay, in a place, and so we need to keep peace, right? So this is gonna be fun. And then I actually picked up Tom and, oh, I'm sorry, the lighting is not so good. I mean, it's kind of washing out everything, but Tom and Joan Doyle, Women Who Risk, Secret Agents for Jesus in the Muslim World. This was very fascinating, and like for my Christian nonfiction, I always like to, again, I enjoy nonfiction, especially, you know, Christian nonfiction, when you have different perspectives on the faith, and especially memoirs and books and discussions about those outside of America who are of the faith and the struggles that they go through. So this book is just about women and their life stories of how Christianity and Christ changed their life. So this is going to be great. Once Upon a Wardrobe by Patty Callahan, and this struck me as very interesting because it says, where did Narnia come from? The answer will change everything. Megs Donvenshire is brilliant with numbers and equations and is on a scholarship at Oxford and dreams of solving the greatest mysteries of physics. She prefers dependability of facts, except for one. The younger brother she loves with all her heart doesn't have long to live. When George becomes captivated by a brand new book called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and begs her to find out where Narnia came from, there's no way she can refuse. Meg soon finds herself taking tea with the Oxford Don and his own brother, imploring them for answers. What she receives instead are more stories. This is a very interesting take on the C.S. Lewis Narnia and how it was created and a reimagining of that. And so this seems to be a perfect winter read as well. Look at the cover, it's gorgeous. Frederick Bachman, Beartown. I've heard a lot of great things about Frederick Bachman, and the one particular book that I want to read is, I can't think of the name right here, but I'll put it like right here or down below what that book is that I'm trying to remember right now. But anyway, I figured I'd get Beartown, and Beartown, essentially, the synopsis on this one is a tiny community deep in the forest. Beartown hasn't been the best at anything in a long time, but down by the lake stands an old ice rink, and in that ice rink, Kevin, Ahmad, Benji, and the rest of the town's junior ice hockey team are about to compete in the national semifinals, and they actually have a shot of winning. All the hopes and the dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys. Small town drama, small town issues, and the interactions between these small communities. I've never read a contemporary fiction that really kind of explores this type of dynamic, but I heard his writing is beautiful and it just hits you right in the feels, and this will definitely be a spring read, I hope. I don't know, I might feel froggy and read it this month, who knows. And now I actually have a classic, Emma. Oh, this cover is just, I don't know if you can, sorry if it's just too, the lighting is just all over the place, you know. We're YouTube professionals, okay? YouTube professionals, all right? We know what we're doing. My sissy actually read a manga reinterpretation of Emma, and she loved it, and so I was enthralled by that. I was like, oh man, sissy, I really want to read, it is just blowing out. I really want to read this. And next I have Terry Blackstone, If I Run, and this is actually a Christian suspense story about a girl named Casey. So let's read the synopsis. Let's not act like we know what this book is about. Casey Cox's DNA is all over the crime scene. There's no one talking to the police. They failed her abysmally before. She has to flee before she's arrested, or worse. The truth doesn't matter anymore. But what is the truth? That's the question haunting Dylan Roberts, the war-weary veteran hired to find Casey. PTSD has marked him damaged goods, but bringing Casey back can redeem him. Through the crime scene, though the crime scene seems to tell the whole story, details of the murder aren't adding up. So, ooh, this seems very interesting. This will be my first time reading Christian suspense. So it's going to be a different experience. Chantel reads all day. I'll link her channel below. She's actually quite lovely. She reads a myriad of things, including Christian fiction. And so she always recommends, you know, she does really good at recommending all the things that she reads, especially some Christian fiction, since it's kind of a niche genre to read from. It's very difficult to kind of find some really good stuff. So, and this is actually a series. Y'all should already know it would be a series. We'll see how I like it, and it'll be a good time. Final stack of books are some kind of testers. I'm really looking for a cozy type of mystery, and we can thank Agatha Christie for that, because her mysteries are so well done, so complete, so wholesome, but incredibly complex and so much fun to read. I still haven't figured one out, so we'll see. Round of applause if I can ever figure one out. So I wanted to find some other authors who have kind of that, you know, mystery element to it, because, you know, I got to know what happened. First book, A Stroke of Malice by Annie Lee Huber, and it's set in 1832. And Lady Kira Darber and her husband Sebastian are looking forward to celebrating with new friends at an exciting yearly soiree, but they soon learn that murder never takes a holiday in the latest riveting installment in this national best series. So apparently there's some family drama. Somebody is murdered. That's all I know. I ain't gonna act like I know what I'm talking about with this book, but this looks cool. And then the other two are by Rhys Bowen. The Last Mrs. Summers and God Rest Ye I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. God Rest Ye Royal Gentlemen. So these two look very interesting, and the cover I really like. Gosh, I hope these are really good. She has a following. It's worth a try. It's a mystery. Hopefully there's enough to ground it to be a good mystery. And so I'm looking forward to these. These are going to be those out of the comfort zone kind of picks. I'm very, you know, definitive about what I like and the kind of authors I stick to, and all 39 series. That's not an exaggeration. I actually have 39 series. Got plenty of authors to read, but I'm always on the hunt for something else. And as your reading taste change, you kind of really start to see the nuanced things that you enjoy in your reading. And so I'm looking forward to all three of these in March. You know, hopefully they are kind of a winter read. How's going on around here? It look like gonna be winter for a long time. All right, well, cheers to you if you got all the way through this exaggerated hot mess of a book haul. But we're here for it because it's all about the books anyway. Lighting, books, that's all it's about. It's all about the books, y'all. It's all about the books. It's all about books, baby. It's all about you and me. It's about
all the books and you can't see. It's all about books. It's all about books.
Anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Are there any books that you saw that you were interested in? Did you have a sneaky little book haul? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.